In a cheerful village lived a boy named Kiran. Kiran had a very unusual hobby. He collected somedays. Whenever his mother said, "Clean your room," Kiran replied, "Someday." When his father said, "Learn to ride your bicycle," Kiran answered, "Someday." When his teacher encouraged him to enter the storytelling contest, "Someday." Soon, Kiran imagined he had an invisible sack filled with hundreds of somedays. And strangely, the sack seemed to get heavier every year. One morning, colorful flags decorated the village square. The annual fair had arrived. There were races, games, music, and talent shows. Kiran's best friend Ravi excitedly signed up for several events. "Come with me," Ravi said. Kiran smiled. "Maybe someday." Ravi laughed. "At this rate, someday we'll need its own calendar." The two boys burst into laughter. Even Kiran couldn't help laughing. But deep down, he felt something uncomfortable. Near the fair sat an elderly carpenter named Devan. People admired his beautiful wooden creations. Kiran asked, "How did you become so skilled?" Devan smiled. "I wasn't skilled when I started." "Then how did you learn?" The old man pointed to a wooden chair. "One piece at a time." Then he pointed to another, and another, then another, and another. Kiran frowned. "That's all?" Devan chuckled. "Young man, most dreams don't fail because people can't do them. They fail because people keep postponing the first small step." That night, Kiran had a strange dream. He was carrying the invisible sack of somedays, except now it wasn't invisible anymore. The sack was enormous. Inside were things he never started, books he never read, skills he never learned, adventures he never tried. The heavier it became, the slower he walked. Finally, he couldn't move at all. Then he saw Ravi walking past him, carrying a tiny backpack. "Why is your bag so light?" Kiran asked. Ravi grinned. "Because every time I said I'd do something, I started with one small step." Suddenly, Kiran woke up. The next morning, Kiran did something surprising. He didn't make a grand plan. He didn't promise to change his whole life. Instead, he chose one tiny thing. He cleaned one corner of his room. Just one. The next day, he practiced riding his bicycle for 10 minutes. The day after that, he wrote a short story. Small steps. Tiny victories. Little by little, the invisible sack became lighter. A year later, the village fair returned. This time, Kiran entered the storytelling contest. Was he nervous? Absolutely. Did he stumble over a few words? Yes. Did he win? No. He came third. But when the audience applauded, Kiran smiled wider than anyone, because something more important had happened. He had finally stopped collecting somedays. He had started collecting experiences. As the sun set behind the village, the old carpenter smiled and said, "Great journeys aren't built in giant leaps. They're built in small steps taken consistently." And for the first time, Kiran truly understood. Every dream begins with a single step that often feels too small to matter. But small actions, repeated day after day, quietly shape our future. So whatever you've been saving for someday, perhaps today is the perfect day to begin.